to Talking TSM, the Game House's talk show about TSM's LCS team. I'm Robert Haynes, your host and your guide into the world of TSM's LCS team. I hope y'all are having a great Thursday. There's a pretty, I would argue, probably our biggest weekend ahead that we've had in a long time. There are a lot of important weekends, but we've got Evil Geniuses, Golden Guardians, and Cloud9. And unbelievably, if you had asked me this even up until like 2 weeks ago, what our easiest game of the week would be, I wouldn't have told you Cloud9. But I think Cloud9 is our easiest game of the week of these three. I mean, it's obviously between them and Golden Guardians. Evil Geniuses are playing pretty well right now. And so I, as all Thursday shows, I'm going to preview our games this week. And, didn't get much feedback from last weekend, so I'm going to assume you guys liked it. I hope you guys did. Or from last Thursday's show. So what I am going to do is I'm going to still keep it this open format a little bit, but I still have my keys to the game. I'm just going to not read them as necessarily keys to the game. I'm kind of just going to go through them, a little bit more open than I normally do. So, EG, just starting right there. They are right on our heels. They are 2 games back, and they are 14-7 during the summer, which is important to note. This is the last time that either team faces the other team. And, again, we are, I think, not comfortably in the top 2, but we are in the top 2. And this weekend is going to be extremely important to make sure that we stay in the top 2, because the teams behind us. So we're 3 games up on Team Liquid, which is, I think, plenty at this point. I'm really not too worried about having to, fall behind them. So I would say we are comfortably in the top 4 at this very moment. Which I think is important to note. Because, well, I would like to remind you, this is how things pan out. The 3 seed plays the 6 seed, the 4 seed plays the 5 seed. The loser of the 3 and 6, well, I think it's just whichever the highest seed is left. So whichever highest seed is still left plays the 8 seed, and whichever, is the lower of the 2 seeds plays the 7 seed down in the lower bracket. Right now, it's looking like the 7th seed is going to be Immortals. The 8th seed, it looks like, is going to be a battle between FlyQuest and Golden Guardians. Now, both of those teams can still take it from Immortals, but Immortals would have to drop, well, basically every game that they still have left. Which, they don't have CLG anymore for the rest of the season. They were able to pull off a surprising win after a Cloud9, I guess, throw, if I want to call it that. And so it's definitely possible. I mean, they get Dignitas, Evil Geniuses, and 100 Thieves this weekend. That could be an 0-3 weekend. Then they got TL, FlyQuest, and Golden Guardians, the 2 teams that they need to beat. Man, next weekend's going to be fun. Maybe not so much for us. I don't know. It's going to be scary for us, at least a little bit. But yeah, I mean, FlyQuest and Golden Guardians are going to get their shot against Immortals, I think, guys. Now, they're going to have to win, Golden Guardians specifically are going to have to win 5 of their 6 games remaining to even force a tiebreaker against Immortals. And that would be if Immortals drops every game. I'm pretty sure Immortals are, 1 win away from locking a playoff spot at this point. Maybe 2. Yeah, Immortals are 1 win and a Golden Guardians loss. And sadly, we really need Golden Guardians to lose this week. So, yeah. So, and then, continuing on real quick, the first and the second seed, remember, the first seed picks who they want to play of the two teams that wins in round 1. All right? And so, we are 1 game behind 100 Thieves, and we are currently tied 2-2 against them for the... Wow, my brain's blanking. For the tiebreaker between us, which makes next week's game against them, week 9, leading off on Friday. As long as we can stay even with them, or potentially even get ahead of them this weekend. I mean, 100 Thieves doesn't have the easiest schedule this weekend, but they also, actually they have like one of the easiest schedules this weekend. They get Cloud9 to start off the weekend, and then CLG and Immortals. Now, Cloud9 are hankering for a dub against 100 Thieves right now, because those teams are also 2-2 against each other. And Cloud9 are, they're 3 games behind 100 Thieves, but still, they need a win badly. But this could honestly be the end of Cloud9's chances at a top 2 finish this weekend, because they have 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, and us, before they then have Evil Geniuses, and then finish out with Dignitas, and then a pretty important matchup against TL. So Cloud9 got some pretty tough games in their next 5. Wah. So I'm setting this all up because Evil Geniuses are a very important team. As I said, they're tied with us in their summer split. They are 2 games behind us overall. And we currently only have a 2-2 tie with them for the tiebreaker. All right, they are one of the 2 teams that we really need the tiebreaker over. Evil Geniuses' rest of the split, by the way, is us, then Immortals, then CLG. If they beat us, then it's looking like a pretty easy 3-0 weekend for them. Then they got Cloud9, TL, and 100 Thieves. So next weekend, not so easy. All the more important if we beat them today, or not today, tomorrow, excuse me. If we can beat Evil Geniuses tomorrow, outside of a catastrophic, and I do mean catastrophic, last 5 games, I believe that a win over Evil Geniuses tomorrow solidifies us with a top 2 spot in the LCS. That puts us to 27-13. 15-7. We got a 3-2 over Evil Geniuses for the tiebreaker. We would only have to win, I think, 2 more games for the rest of the season at that point. And we still have Golden Guardians, CLG, and Dignitas left. I still have Dignitas as one of my worst teams in the LCS. So, even though they've had our number this year, which is so weird still. So we still have 3 very winnable games. We've already beaten TL 5 freaking times. We've already lost our weird game to FlyQuest. We're almost like single-handedly keeping FlyQuest in the playoff picture, by the way. It's kind of funny, actually. Us and CLG, man. Lord. But I preface this because this is the narrative, guys. I mean, these first games, these Friday games specifically, Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves, are so important for us. And everything that 100 Thieves does obviously is important to us too. I do not want to, that needs to be emphasized as well. Because if they have a swoon here at the end, which, they've been losing. Not a lot, but, they are currently 3-3 in their last 6 games. All right, with losses to Dignitas, Golden Guardians, and Evil Geniuses. But wins over us, TL, and FlyQuest. So, our last game against them was rough. We did not look like a team that knew what we wanted to do. We even went back to comfort picks. But it seemed like we weren't proactive, like we didn't know what we wanted to do. And when you look, and this is against 100 Thieves. When you look forward, we're not going to be able to do that. And even our games last weekend, guys, were tough. In terms of figuring out what we want to do in the mid-game to push ourselves forward once we get a lead. Because it's strange. It's like we're figuring out that we're good, from minute 1 to 11-ish. And then we're really good from minute, 18-ish through the rest of the game. But it's that 7 to 10 minute span in the middle where we either make mistakes and lose the game, or where we don't push our lead enough to allow us to finish at the 22-ish minute mark, like we could in some of these games. And so I hope that's what they've been working on, because Evil Geniuses are a team that still scare me a lot. Like I said, they've been playing very, very well of late. They have come charging back from what was pretty okay records. They are a team that plays almost with a reckless abandon. Reckless abandon. Where they just don't, like, they care, obviously, but they're so confident in their abilities. And so one of the things that I think we need to do, and it's something that we've been showing lately, which I'm really proud of us for, is I want to see us push the narrative. I want to see us put the pressure on them instead of waiting around and letting them do it to us. Because I think it's important for us to realize, they are one of the best early game teams, and they are able to snowball very well. But they do throw games. And not just that, if they don't have a lead, a lot of the time they struggle. And this can be seen through, I like to use Oracle's Elixir, by the way, guys. Again, it's not a sponsor of the show or anything, but I do think that if you're looking for LCS stats, it's one of the best. And they use their own algorithm for an early game rating, which, if you guys remember, we were one of the worst in the LCS. We have now charged all the way up to 5th and are barely behind Cloud9 and Team Liquid. We are pushing our way towards the front. We also are leading the league in mid and late game rating. Evil Geniuses are leading the league in early game rating. But they're a pretty average to below average mid to late game rating. Most of the time, because they kind of just hang on and get kills. And then they win. Like, it's kind of that simple. And so, I think that for us to find success in this game, we need to put the pressure on them. They have strong laners. Impact, Jizuke, Danny. And Svenskeren does a good job of allowing them to get ahead, making good team fighting plays. Ignar is excellent at kind of the same thing, honestly. Danny looks like he's pretty legit. And so I think they're very comfortable with kind of taking the lead, right? They're one of the best First Blood teams. Actually, we're better than them, which is crazy, but hey. Like I said, their early game rating is great. They're one of the best teams to getting to Drakes, Rift Heralds, first tower in 2/3 of their game. First to 3 towers in 3 of 4 games. I mean, in their losses, it's because they're not able to get this early game lead. They're not able to get pressure around the map. And so I am charging us with just continuing our proactive early game. Because I think this is one of the teams that if you snuff out the fire early, it kind of just dissipates. And it's kind of what it's looked like against Cloud9 and TL lately with us, where we don't allow them to get early leads, and then we play our game through the rest of it. I'm challenging us not to just not let them get an early game lead. I'm challenging us to have an early game lead. And I think part of this starts at the draft. Jizuke and Impact specifically are known for certain champions. And lately, they have been getting those champions. Impact has played Impact has played Renekton like 3 or 4 games out of his last 5 or 6. And you can't allow him on that pick. I mean, that's the pick that when Evil Geniuses were like god tier, right? For a little while last split, that was the pick that was like almost single-handedly carrying them games. Now that they actually have an AD carry that's proactive and is able to create his own success, giving a champion like Renekton over to Impact, I think, is a mistake. I think it's a big-time mistake. So I want to see us get rid of that. I also want to see us get rid of the Rise. We all know that when Jizuke is on champions that can split push, that can have, the push in the mid lane. When I say take it away, I'm fine with us picking it, personally. I think it's a great champion. And I think that regardless of our loss on it last week because we threw against FlyQuest, I still think that Power of Evil played very well on it. I think it's a contested pick. I think it's one that we definitely want to prioritize if we're not going to ban it. And in the past, it was as easy as just ban out Jizuke's champions and Impact's champions. Danny, and the way Svenskeren and Ignar have been playing lately, it's not allowing that to happen. But you still don't want to give them their comfort picks. But some other picks that have been rising up that I personally am looking at for us are Irelia and Sejuani. Now, I've talked about Sejuani a couple times. I understand that it's not Spica's favorite pick. And I understand that although it is his most picked champion of all time, he also always hasn't found success on it. But I think that there's a couple reasons for it. Because when we asked him to pick it back in the day, it was kind of because we didn't think he could do anything else at the time. If you guys remember correctly. And yeah, he played it very valiantly during the playoffs that year. I think he's more skilled now. I think he understands his jungle pathings better. I think he's more confident in his abilities. And I think he's confident in his laners. And I think that if we decided to go with a melee comp that features also Irelia specifically, one of Huni's most played champions and one of his best champions ever, I understand she has some small changes, but those are beneficial to us. I think Irelia would be an amazing pick for us. I would even be okay with it being a first pick for us. Her stun is good. It's a little slower. She still pumps out damage. But she also is more of a bruiser. She lives longer. She scales into the late game now. Can you name a champion that might fit Huni better than that? I mean, there's not many. High impact ultimate, high impact damage, high playmaking ability, scales even if they get down early because they get focused. He averages 5 kills a game, which is one of his best. Only Echo, for champions that he's played, more than like 2 or 3 times, has a better amount of kills per game on it. And he's 13-4 on her, by the way, in 17 games. And you pair that with a Sejuani, man, oh man, they are going to be stunning people for days. You wouldn't even need another like melee mid, honestly. You could probably just have, a melee support, which we play anyways. I think you'd be fine. I mean, if you had an Irelia, Sejuani, Ryze, whatever the hell we want to do with Lost, and a Leona or a Nautilus, preferably Leona. Guys, I mean, that's a great comp for us. A lot of damage, a lot of split pushing, a lot of good team fight. It's got everything. And so I want to see us do it because I think Diana bans are coming, by the way. I think they're going to start on it with EG. Because Spica's been playing Diana too well. Everybody knows this is kind of what they do. This is what TSM does. Like, if Diana's not banned, by the way, we're going to pick it. We can just assume that Diana is officially our Udyr, of playoffs. Our Hecarim, whatever. Whatever we feel like playing, that's just kind of how we do. And so, had you asked me a couple weeks ago, specifically 2, maybe 3 actually, probably 3. Yeah, if you'd asked me like 3 weeks ago, hey, Rob, like, what do you think of this game? I'd say if we can survive through the early game, then we win. But that's not likely, so I would have predicted a loss. Instead, I'm going to predict a win for us more so because of the fact that I truly believe that our early game problems have been resolved and that we are going to understand that the draft for this game is not going to get away from us. And so for those reasons, I'm going to pick us with a win over Evil Geniuses this weekend. I will warn, I will hedge my bets as I do. I think if we lose this game, I think it's at draft. I don't think it's going to be because of plays that we make. I think it's going to be at draft. And maybe we win just because we get lucky and Jizuke goes back to his inting ways. I don't know. We haven't seen much of that lately. But there's a possibility. All right, now we head on to Golden Guardians. I'm not going to spend as much time on this because I do like this team a lot. I want to see them in playoffs. I think they're a very interesting team. I think that they've really grown. I think young players like Iconic, Ablaze Olive, and Chime are showing that the system works. Even though I don't know if Iconic will stay. But Ablaze Olive specifically is awesome to see him find success. And my boy Chime, like I said, I've been talking about him a lot. I've been really, really hyping him up because I think he's solid. I think he could be one of the next great NA supports. He reminds me a lot of Vulcan, which can be good and bad. For Golden Guardians, though, the very first thing I want to look at is Licorice. Obviously, since Licorice has come over, this team has been playing out of their minds. And I mean that. I mean, seriously, they have been playing like men possessed since his trade. They've gone 4-2, including wins over 100 Thieves, Golden Guardians, Evil Geniuses, and Dignitas, with losses to us and Cloud9, funny enough. And so, that's what Licorice can do on a good team. And he's played very, very well. But in their losses, he can still be a little too aggressive. Something that we saw out of him more with FlyQuest than we ever did with C9. I always remembered him with C9 being more of like a aggressive when he had to be, but still a more, reactionary player. Now that's not the case. I mean, the man goes in. The man tries to make plays. And I think Golden Guardians have kind of unlocked him with that. Iconic has been up there. You've been seeing a Blaze Olive. A Blaze Olive, by the way, has been playing a bunch of just random champions, which is another reason why I think he is set up for uber success in this league. Because it's not like they're even having him play like standard, mage champions and whatnot that he was used to being known for. Like, he pulled out the Tom Kench mid and just crushed on it. And I think that's unlocked Licorice. And so, when I look at it for us, I think we need to focus up in the top lane and try to put Licorice behind as much as possible. I think whether it's Power of Evil making roams up there, Sword Art making roams up there, hopefully very often Spica making roams up there, I think you can put Licorice behind and get Huni ahead to a point where it can just win the game. Now, to be fair, Golden Guardians are still pretty weak, in my opinion, in the bot lane. I know Stixay's been playing better. Again, I think a lot of that has to do with Chime and the ability for apparently Stixay now to have somebody else to shot call. So he's been able to focus on his gameplay more. I mean, this has been a small renaissance for the man. But it's still not enough for me to say that we need to focus on the bot lane. I'll have what I want to do in the bot lane here in just a second. But I want to see us focus top. Again, pressure, pressure, pressure. Licorice is going to be over-aggressive. Punish him for it. Then, take his tower, right? Take their jungle through it. Iconic is exposed when his top laner's not there. It's not like this kid's going to be pulling out insane 1v2s. That's just not him. That's not who he is. He's much more of a supportive jungler. This gives us an advantage in the jungle, and I think an advantage in the top lane too. I know Licorice has been very good, but he is still exploitable. C9 literally just showed that last week. When looking at the mid lane, I think for Power of Evil, it's important to just play something of comfort. I don't really care what it is. If he's comfortable because he's been playing Rise like crazy, he's been solo queuing Rise for the last 2 weeks, then put it on it. If he wants to play Victor, put him on it. If he wants to play Azir, put him on it. I don't care. If he wants to play Orianna even, that's fine with me. Do it. Because we know you can't prepare right now for a Blaze Olive. He's gonna just play whatever the team needs. If he needs to pull out some wonky pick, he'll pull out some wonky pick. But I think it's imperative for us to allow for Power of Evil to play something he's comfortable on so that he can take over the game when he wants to. Like, I don't want to see any Lee Sin BS. I don't want to see any Lucian BS. I don't want to see a Tom Kench or a Set. I don't want to see these random picks. Golden Guardians are not a team that you can take lightly anymore. They are not a, hey, ha, 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 it's Golden Guardians, right? Like, who cares? Nah, man. We got to beat these guys. And giving Power of Evil Comfort allows you to just ignore him as Spica. Sure, if there's a nice gank opportunity in the mid lane, go for it. But otherwise, like I said, we want Spica focusing in the top lane. Clearing out the jungles, getting a top lane, getting a gank off, then setting up for a Drake, right? I mean, just rinse and repeat. Because that leads into my point about the bot lane. I want us to go strong 2v2 bot lane. That doesn't really need support and can still allow Sword Art to do his thing. Sure, maybe Iconic will start looking in the bot lane. Whatever. Sword Art's good enough to sacrifice himself and keep Lost alive in the 1 or 2 times that might happen. And again, if Speak is able to get Huni ahead, then it's fine. Because I'm more confident that us getting Huni ahead will win us the game than us losing the game because Stixxay takes over. So I want to see Leona. I want to see her real bad, and I probably want to see something like the Kai'Sa. Maybe even a Felios. I mean, if we're going to play Felios, I know I'd rather see Thresh, but hey, we've already shown that Leona Aphelios can work, so why not? And by allowing that, seriously, like, they can get ahead, and the only time that Spica has to look near the bot lane is to go to Dragon. And when you have PoE on a comfort pick, most likely a control mage, he's able to control parts of the map, keep a Blaze Olive out, right? And then you have an advantageous 3v3 after the fact that he's already been ganking and giving Huni his lead. I know I make it seem like, oh, it's so simple. Obviously, it's not going to... It probably is not going to be that easy, but that's fine. It's still absolutely doable. I do want us to be careful of Tahm Kench, though. That champion is really freaking strong. It's so obnoxious. I would personally just ban it even over Akali, which is saying a lot for me right now, by the way. Akali is scary, but TK might be scarier. I don't know which side we're going to be on. If we're on red side, I'm sure we're going to end up banning Xin Zhao. Because it seems like Xin Zhao is just getting banned all the time now. But whatever. We'll play it when it's up, and we won't when we need to ban it. So I guess that's fine. I didn't want to spend as much time on Golden Guardians because I still do predict us to win against them. I still think that they're not there yet. You know, we already beat them with Licorice. I think we can do it again. Do they still scare me? Sure. But they don't scare me enough to where I'm worried that we're actually not going to be able to beat them. Still fairly confident we will. And then we head into, again, what might be our easiest game of the season. Real quick, just so you know, Golden Guardians are 9-12 on the year in the summer. Cloud9 are 11-10. They are barely over 500. And yes, they did beat Golden Guardians. Obviously, they are a better team. But for some reason, I just think that we've kind of got Cloud9's number. And I don't think that Cloud9 are going to be something that we're going to have to worry about. I hope that I am correct. I really am. I am knocking on wood. I do not want to jinx it. Because, I mean, Cloud9 can find wins. They're not a bad team. They still have, whenever they finally flip that switch, and holy shit, I hope it is not against us. But whenever they do, that team is still going to be very strong. And so because of that, we have to make sure that we are respectful of things that they can do. And I think an Olaf ban at some point, because I don't think that it's likely, at least, that they pick it in round 1 against us. But I think an Olaf ban might be worth it. Blabber's a god on it. We have seen him go to this pick when he has really needed it. And against CLG on Saturday last week, the man went 9-0-8. And we already did not play well against it before. That was, I think, a major reason why 100 Thieves were able to win is because, the closer's very comfortable on the champion, and he was able to crush us on it. So because of that, I don't want to deal with it. Just get it out of here. I know it's maybe not the strongest pick, but who cares? When it's able to counter a lot of the things that we do, and we're not able to find the aggression against it, then let's just get rid of it. We better have a very good plan and prep for it, because I think that I could see C9 just bringing it out. But Blabber isn't really the carry right now. Fudge is the carry. The man has a pretty strong argument for best top laner right now in the LCS. And if you had told me that back at the beginning of the year, I would have laughed at you. Not that I doubted that Fudge would get there eventually. Obviously, Cloud9 are great at recognizing talent. Young talent, specifically. I mean, Blabber, Fudge, and Vulcan are a testament to that. I understand that Vulcan, had been playing well on, what was the team's name before Dig? I don't remember. I think it was CG, maybe. Either way, this kid has been playing out of his mind. He is almost single-handedly keeping Cloud9 afloat. If you would have told me that, I would have told you out of your mind. They have Sven, Blabber, Perks, Vulcan, for God's sakes. And yet, Fudge is the carry. And because of that, I know Hooney wouldn't like this, but because I know he wants to, ego and go one-on-one against this guy. But I think for the sake of the team, which I think he's more, amenable to now, I would give him something safe and then focus on the rest of the map and just try to keep Fudge out of as many fights as possible. I would love to see a Mundo or an Ornn, maybe even a Renekton. I would like to see a Gwen ban, by the way. Don't want to see Fudge on that. No, thank you. And so, those are the things I want to see. Because I think that if you can give Hooney something where he's safe and can just kind of farm, and even if he gets behind by 15 CS, whatever, who cares? Because as long as he can keep Fudge out of team fights, then I think our comms are better than C9's. At least that's the way it looks, which is shocking. Honestly, it's unbelievable that our comms right now are probably superior. I'm serious, because our comms have been awful, but Cloud9's there. I mean, they're just all over the place, man. And the rest of the team, I mean, it feels like it's the Sven and Fudge show. It feels like kind of what MSI was. Blabber's all over the place. Perks has just been god-awful compared to what we thought. And Vulcan just keeps dying, trying to make plays for the team. And so, because of the pressure I think that they're going to be feeling, and the fact that they're going to be coming off of 2 tough games, you have to respect that FlyQuest can win. There's a chance that C9 are 0-2 coming into that game on Sunday against us. And they are going to be really pressing themselves for a win, because they're going to need it. That's the only chance that they have. If they can beat us, it's the only chance they have of trying for a top 2 spot. I mean, we have the tiebreaker over them. Yay. We have already beat them twice this split. Neither game has felt all that close, I think. I might be remembering that wrong. Maybe that was the TL game. Either way, I believe that Cloud9 are a very beatable team for us now. And I believe that we can drive the last nail into the coffin in terms of their hopes of being a top 2 team. Potentially even a top 4 team. It is for this reason that I'm going to pick us a 3-0 weekend. Knocking on wood again. Yes, this is a tough weekend, but we showed last week that we are fixing our early game and that when our comms are there, we win games. Evil Geniuses are going to be the hardest team we're going to face this weekend, without a doubt. Then it gets easier and easier Saturday, Sunday, and then we have the big game on Friday against 100 Thieves before we finish out against CLG and Dig. I believe I predicted 31-14. I didn't predict us to win or to lose this many games. I did say we'd drop a couple random ones. We'd lose to teams like 100 Thieves, C9, TL, EG. We've already lost our game to EG. We haven't lost our game to Cloud9 yet. Maybe I jinxed this there. I did say we would probably lose a game to TL. We 5-0'd them, so yeah. We've lost our random game to FlyQuest and CLG. I think now it's time for us to bring it home. If we can go 6-0 and finish 32-13, we will be at the top of the LCS. I'm telling you right now. If we can sweep the next 2 weekends, that we are going to be in a excellent spot to take first place and most importantly, have the chance to pick who we want to play. I mean, think about it this way, guys. Think about it real quickly. If things ended the way that they're going to right now, Cloud9, do they have the win over EG? No, they don't. Wait, EG has it? 1 second, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so Evil Geniuses would play Dignitas, and then Cloud9 and TL would play each other. Right? It's awesome. Because one of them gets knocked down to the lower bracket. EG would obviously win over Dignitas, and then we just pick the winner of Cloud9 and TL if we are the 1 seed. 100 Thieves would have to play Evil Geniuses, who have had their number. Hopefully, TL would win. This is dream scenario right here, fam. Right? We finish 6-0. We watch as week 1, we get a nice little break. Right? Week 1, we watch TL barely beat in a bloody 3-2. They get their revenge over Cloud9. Oh, yay. But then, in round 2, we pick TL. And we beat them, hopefully. As we should. And then we're facing either Evil Geniuses or 100 Thieves all the way in the semifinals. Like we wouldn't have to play again until New Jersey. And at that point... Oh, that's not true. No. We would play, and then the loser of that game would play in New Jersey. I think that's how it would work. Either way, my point would be, if we could get the 1 seed, we at least need the top 2 seeds, right? We need to keep that. I want to set the bar a little low there. We need to keep the top 2 seeds, okay? Because either way, 1 or 2 seed, we are literally 2 wins away from Worlds, 2 series wins away from Worlds. Remember last year where we were 1, 2, 3, 4 series to get to Worlds last year. Just to get there. Not just win the LCS championship, but to get to Worlds. We can cut that in half to get to Worlds. And I want to remind you, my goal all season has been, let's just get to Worlds. If we win finals, great. Awesome. I will be hyped. I'm going to be there. But if we get that 1 seed, man, oh, man, that's nice. Right, in the off chance that Dignitas surprise, we can pick them. In the likelihood that TL or C9, which again, I can't believe I'm saying this, end up making it out because they end up playing each other. Or even better, C9 finishes 3rd. And then TL somehow beats Evil Geniuses, or vice versa. And then then it doesn't matter who we pick between Cloud9 or TL, honestly. I mean, most likely we'd end up with C9 because I think 100 Thieves would pick TL. But again, I'm theorizing here, guys, because I think that there's still so many paths that need to be taken. We'll still have to see how things go. But man, it's just that 1 seed would be so nice. Just the power of choice, I think, can go such a long way for us. And then, we face 100 Thieves, most likely. Or EG, most likely. The second most likely. In the semifinals. And then we're 1 win away. And we get 2 chances at being 1 win away from going to Worlds. 2 chances. Actually, wait. I'm thinking here. Give me a second. Just kidding. Holy moly. I'm an idiot. We would only need to win 1 series. We'd have to win our first series specifically. But if we win our first series, then we're going to Worlds. Ha! Holy crap. My brain just sometimes doesn't work sometimes, guys. I'm just letting you know. So yeah, we'd be 1 series win away from just going to Worlds. Unreal. And getting that 1 seed makes it all that more important. Man, God, I want that 1 seed. Even if we're the 2 seed, whatever. I mean, if we got to face Evil Geniuses in the second round, then we got to face Evil Geniuses in the second round. Do I want to do it? No. Like, I want our chances of going to Worlds to be at the highest possible peak as possible. But I don't know, maybe C9 crushes Evil Geniuses, barely wins. And then 100 Thieves are like, I don't know, guys, I want to face Evil Geniuses instead of Cloud9. I don't know. There's just there's so many possibilities. It's so scary to me to a certain degree. Because it's like, and the days that we are playing our version of League of Legends, the TSM version of League of Legends, we beat every one of these teams in a best of 5 and it doesn't even matter. But on those weeks where we've seen ourselves kind of like forget how to play League of Legends, where Huni accidentally makes a mistake, or Power of Evil's non-existent, or Spica's non-existent, or Sword Art's non-existent, or lost his positioning terribly, so I make sure I hit all 5 of them. I mean, luckily it's double round robin, so like, or not double round robin, excuse me, double elimination, so like, even if we lose, scary. Even if the prospect of us losing in our first matchup, we still at least have a chance to make a lower bracket run, and we would only have to still, at that point, we'd only have to win 2 series to get there. Oh, God. I really want that 1 seed. All right. Academy and amateur updates. Real fast. Academy, we tied with CLG last night. We are now tied with Immortals Academy for the final spot at final automatic spot at Proving Grounds. We still have 3 series left. We play Team Liquid Academy, who's one of the best tonight. Then we play not FlyQuest. Then we get Golden Guardians Academy, who are, I think, pretty good. Nope, they're right about as good as us, so okay. And then we get C9 Academy, who I know are pretty... Oh, actually, they're only just a little bit better than us, too. So, Immortals, by the way, have C9 Academy, TL Academy, wow, that's funny, and EG Academy. So, we got to at least get some ties. Hopefully, we can find a win in there. Because we're both 3-8-4 in our series and 14-16 in our games overall. They just had a devastating loss in their last series against FlyQuest Academy. No surprise there. Luckily, we don't have to play FlyQuest Academy. Ugh, scariness. But yeah, I think if we get one win and a draw, I think we're pretty much in. We want to be that top 6 because the bottom 4 teams got to go through a qualifier. And the way our amateur's looking, we're still working. We're clearly still working on our system, our academy/amateur system, because for amateur they actually had a pretty good week for the first time. Like, yeah, really for the first time. I was gonna say for the first time ever, but yeah, I mean for the first time ever. We went 6-2 in our games for qualifiers. We went 3-0 overall. We were able to take down C9 Amateur, OQ, who had knocked us out in a previous tournament, and Resolve NA, who are pretty bad, unfortunately, for them. But, yeah, whatever. And then, which is unfortunate, but, we were able to beat them. It was great. But then, unfortunately, we lost to Evil Genius's Prodigies, who's a good team, by the way. Evil Geniuses have done a great job of building their farm system. They're already moving Tomio, their young jungler. I believe he's young. Let me see. Oh, yeah, he's young. Oh, my God. He's only been in professional esports since COVID, basically. Last year, October. He was a sub. Good God. I remember Tomio. Okay, yeah, he got drafted. Yeah, okay. He was okay. I didn't think he was that great of a jungler, but apparently he's improved a lot. And he has now made his way up to Evil Genius's Academy. And we'll be playing for that team now, because Contracts is officially moving up to the main team. Which, you know why? Because those sons of words I have not sworn yet, I don't think, this episode, they brought out Contracts to beat us last time. And they're going to bring him out again on Friday. Or at least they're going to make us think that. They're trying to get in our heads. I don't care either way. We're going to win. But yeah, so we were not able to make it past them. We did go 2-1 though, which is good for them. We were able to finally get some points on the board towards the Proving Ground circuit, which was nice. So, yeah. I'm okay with this. I think we're making some good moves. They're getting better, which is all that matters. And hopefully, by the way, everybody's agreeing with me. I've been seeing this a lot. Don Bray is getting the love that he deserves. I'm telling you, he's the next Vulcan, the next Chime, whatever you want to say. The kid is literally 17 and learning very quickly. And is quite good. I hope that TSM realize this. I understand that your son is very solid, but having a how would I put this? Having an NA player in general is more valuable because it's already been confirmed they are not getting rid of the rulings for imports. So if we have to get rid of your son, at least I think we should try to sell him off for a lot of money and use that money for something else. Not that we need the money, but whatever. We take the $500,000 that we sell him for, or whatever, and put it back into the academy and the amateur rosters. I think Don Bray is a future star. I'm calling it here. I said it before. I'm going to keep saying it. Kid is going to be a stud. I'm telling you right now. And I'm really excited to see him grow. Okay. If you like this show, please say great with words. If you like this show, please take a second to like, subscribe, and comment if you're watching on our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss another episode. Also, I want to make this the #1 TSM podcast around. I would really appreciate it if you guys could share it with your friends, share it with anybody who you think might listen to it. I would seriously appreciate that. You can follow me on Twitter at TGHRobertHaynes or the Gamehouse at TGH Esports. Lastly, you can head to thegamehouse.com to get all your sports and esports news. Pokemon Unite came out this week. A super fun MOBA for Pokemon. I've been enjoying the heck out of it. Played way too much yesterday, but it's very fun. I would really encourage any any MOBA and Pokemon fan, or either or, to give it a try. It's free. Not sponsoring the show. I just think it's a fun game, so I would encourage you guys to play it. And with that, thank you for tuning in. The show comes out every Monday and Thursday and is exclusively for your TSM earholes. I'm Robert Haynes, and this has been Talking TSM. See you on Monday.